As for the biggest loser of the draft, a team that didn't really help themselves out enough, Pete, who's the team that you'd like to walk into their draft room and give them a talking to?
It's the Las Vegas Raiders. I just don't like what they've done in the draft the last couple of years. It goes back when they drafted Clelin Ferrell 4th overall. I heard people in the building love Devin White, and they took Clelin Ferrell anyway. That's not a good way to get your regime going, and it continues here. Alex Leatherwood, and I'm not going to kill the kid because he's a decent player. He just shouldn't have been taken at number 17 in the first round. But they did come back, and I like Trevon Moehrig in the second round. He could have been okay. I would have been fine with it if they had reversed these, so we'll see how that plays out. But the bottom line is they reached. Malcolm Kuntz is a reach. Divine Diablo is and then Tyree Gillespie, 2 safeties. So you draft 3 safeties, which is crazy when you have so many other needs. I just didn't like what they did at all. And this is an organization that seems to be having big-time troubles when it comes to the draft.
Pete, I'm right there with you. This is my team that I think struggled to identify what they were trying to do. Talked about them drafting 3 safeties. They just signed back Carl Joseph. They've also got Jonathan Abrams. I mean, who's playing? Who's starting? You could have so many safeties. So at this point, I'm not really sure what the concern was. I think you could have added more depth in trying to find guys to rush off of the edge since that Clelin Ferrell pick hasn't really worked out. Instead, you go with Malcolm Kuntz out of Buffalo, which it's ironically because you traded away a prospect out of Buffalo that you had that was a solidified edge rusher that really didn't work out for all the guys you signed in his absence. So I just kind of look what the Raiders just did, and I get it. If you love Leatherwood, he's going to be a starter, go get him. Same thing with Moehrig. But at the end of the day, you look at the rest of their draft, you kind of scratch your head saying, what did they ultimately really accomplish outside of drafting a bunch of safeties, adding some depth? And obviously a starter, a right tackle for them. I don't know that this helps them, especially because I think Kansas City had a fantastic offseason in addressing their offensive line issues, as well as adding some playmakers there. Denver got better as well. I think if Teddy Bridgewater ends up being the guy, he can keep them in games because he's not going to turn the football over. And the Los Angeles Chargers may have had the best draft of anyone in the AFC West. So I'm with Pete on this, in part because of what they did, but also because what everyone else did around them in their division.
Interesting to see how that'll play out there in Las Vegas in front of fans this year. It'll be interesting in a 17-game regular season.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.